Hello, everybody. Renee here, and independent demonstrator. And I'm going to show you a different kind of a pop-up card. I call it an inverted Z-fold pop-up. It has a few pop-up mechanisms to it. So that's going to be fun to show you. So it is Thursday. It's around 2 o'clock. So let's see if we can't go live on my Facebook page. All right. Renee's Paper Crafts and Business is that page. I'll check you out in just a second. So here it is. This is the card. And I use different sayings from different stamp sets. And this one was just wanted to say. This comes from our new Cheerful Daisies bundle. This right here. And I just love this bundle. It really is very nice. The dies are just fabulous, and you can see the die right there, right here. And you have the cutout of the large flower, and it makes marvelous. You're going to see, you've seen pictures already, I'm sure, on my Facebook page, and using this set, which is just fabulous. All right, so you'll be seeing more of this for sure. It is too fun. It's a good set. This card, as I was saying, has two different pop-up mechanisms, one here and one here. So you definitely have a little pop-up mechanism here, which is really kind of fun. It's not quite a wobbly, but it does pop up like a wobbly. And you can, I guess, do a little bit of motion. It's not, it'll work. All right. And so if you don't have wobblies, here's a great option for that. All right. So let's see what else I wanted to show you. So this is the card. And so, well, let's go ahead. And as I go through the card, I will talk about some of these other sets that have come in and that I'm going to be using today. All right. And I think I have another card here, but not sure. Yes, here's another card I made using this. All right. I use some old designer paper now, which was really fun. And this comes from the seasonal branches, this bird. And I'm going to talk about that embossing folder that comes from the Countryside Inn bundle. And so that's really a wonderful, a Countryside Inn suite, I guess, is the embossing folder. So that's kind of fun. And I decided to remind you that the rights can come in handy when you want to put something in various colors. And so that's why that's there. And since the flowers were in all these different colors, I thought that that was cute. Also using a new punch that is absolutely fabulous. That punch is definitely worth taking a look at. And it is one of the new ones that you have, and it'll do different sizes depending on the paper that you put in there. If you put in a little, if you put in just a strip of paper, you can go ahead and center that. You can center that and cut it out. And all of a sudden you have a different sized label. It really is. You can go anywhere from 2 inches down to 3/4 of an inch to get these different sized labels that are absolutely fantastic. This is it. This is the guy. This is what it looks like. And it is a decorated circle. I believe they call that something like a decorated circle, something like that. But definitely look for that in the catalog. And it really can make at least literally 8 different sizes of labels. So that's kind of a fantastic thing. All right, so let's go ahead and go on with our card. And since you've seen the examples, we're going to go move forward and inverted Z fold. So let's see what we need. We need a cardstock base, and I'm using white at 4 1/4 by 11. All right, so we're going to cut it at 4 1/4 on the 8 side. All right, 8 1/2 inch side, I guess I should say. And then we're going to score it at 5 1/2, 4 1/2, and 2 1/4. So 5 1/2, 4 1/2, and 2 1/4. Then what's going to happen? I'm just going to make sure I am live and everything is going here, because I just noticed something. I'm not seeing myself live on my site, so that's not good. Let's see where we are. Sorry about that. Just didn't quite see me here. Oh, yes, I'm live. Very good. Just checking. Would hate to go through this and it not be live. So anyway, so that was that, scored that. Then the cardstock white pop-up piece is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay. And then you're going to need some designer paper. Let's start working on that. So our designer paper here, and I've already decorated my designer paper. So I'm going to show you the other side first. And so that's going to be a 4 by 4. And of course, that 4 by 4 will go right on top of that 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And here I'm showing you some of that beautiful countryside and designer paper that comes with that sweet, gorgeous paper. If you want to see some of these papers, please go ahead and look at the post that I gave you yesterday with Sarah. She goes through every designer paper in the catalog. All right, which is on my Facebook page, which was posted yesterday. So designer paper 4 by 4 and 2 strips. And you can go to 3/4 by 4, but I go 7/8 by 4. 2 strips of those. And then you do need a large die cut piece. And so typically that's going to be your flower or your animal, whatever you choose. I chose a flower and stem from that wonderful daisy bundle. So from this wonderful Cheerful Daisies. All right, so that's where that came from. That's where that is. This right here is what I'm hoping to use for my smaller die cut. But in the past, I have used my wonderful, Ladybug Builder Punch, which I absolutely love. And who knows, this came from the Seasonal Branches. And I think I left that one over here. That's my Seasonal Branches. It has a wonderful die set. I showed you that last week, I believe. So you would have seen that whole set and die set because I made you a card out of the Seasonal Branches. So you should have that. All right. So basically, I think that's the mechanisms. Okay, the mechanisms, what you need is 2 pieces, and what you want to make sure is that this is the same color as the base of your cardstock, as your base card. Make sure it is the same color. So if this was blue, this would be blue. Okay, so since it's white, it is white, and this is the 1 3/4 by 1/2 inch, and just folded in half. That's all you've got to do to those 2 to make that front mechanism. And you've seen me do this before, I believe, and I love this mechanism to pop up that center on this fold. All right. So next, you're going to have anywhere from, I believe it was anywhere from 3/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch wide to 2 inches long. And this one, what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half. Okay. And this is the mechanisms for the smaller die, okay, which these are the smaller dies. And you're going to fold it in half, then fold it back on one side to that half fold, and then on the other side to that half fold, and that gives you your spring. And so again, and so here's a really thin piece here where I did that. And so you can make them thinner if you like, or thicker. And you see I use the cardstock color. I use the bird color. I could have used white here as well, but I decided to go with the blue, or whatever the DSP is. I've done that. So in half, then fold it back in half to that score line, and then fold it back again. And again, you need 2 of each of those. We're going to see, though, we might only need 1 this time, but typically you need 2. So those are our little mechanisms. That's it for the mechanism. Isn't that great? Okay, so let me talk about what I did here. And what I did is I went ahead and already made my front. So I like to use punches, and this is one of our newer punches from the I think it's called, it was the Valentine stamp set that came out in the mini that just ended. And this is a punch that I absolutely adore, especially with these leaves here and this little heart. And so this little heart gets punched out. And so this is the heart punch that's now in the catalog. It's the only heart punch in the catalog. And so I used those, and I used the embossing folder from the Countryside Corners Stampin' Cut Emboss. And so what I do is I basically stamp one of these completely, and then I go ahead and put it in the embossing folder. All right, and then run it through the machine. Okay, after I've completely cut it, stamped it, everything, and there you go. I get an embossed little piece. So that's how I do that. All right, and the heart, the same thing. I do a bunch of hearts, cut them out, punch them out, and then I put them in the embossing folder and simply put that embossing folder through the machine. And I love doing that with my die cut pieces. Now, this, I took a lot of stuff from different places, but I just wanted a very small saying. And so I did take it from, and again, all of this, I'm just showing you all this because it is in the catalog. This is still in the Cal Celebrate with tags. There is a die set that goes with this that is fabulous. And last winter, I showed you this set because I absolutely love it. And look what a sweet little XOXO this makes right on this card. What a lovely card to send to a friend that's having an anniversary, or friends, obviously, that are having an anniversary. And that's kind of my intent here for this card. And so you can see the embossed, you can see the stamped, and then embossed. And then you see these leaves, all right, besides that heart. And where does that come from? Well, this new set, which is Timeless Arrangements, which is a stamp set and die. And the stamp set is a bunch of wonderful sayings. And trying to see if I have that right here. I'm sure I do. This is the bundle. This is how it is. This is just fabulous. What's nice about this is that you see here how this is, it'll cut it out. So now I don't have to glue those itty bitty flowers and leaves and fuss with it. What I can do is I can go ahead and glue that whole strip, put a little dot of glue here and here, and then there you go. I have my whole piece. And so I put a piece right under there. So that's what I did. I just put an entire piece of one of the die cuts from that Timeless Arrangements. I just love it. So you just go ahead and you just glue that to the back. It's just like I could go ahead and put a bird right there and glue the bird right on, and then and have something over that and all hidden. It's fabulous. It's great. Brand new, great idea, great for labels. Seen all kinds of great stuff done with that. So that's those pieces. And so then I just went ahead and put pretty much everything on dimensionals on this. And so basically, once you have that done, which is me explaining everything that I did here on the other one, all I did was take this and put this stem down. And this stem, I just do want to show you something about the stem. All I did for my other one that you saw is simply take the flower, put it down. Depending on what side you put it on, it'll change how that stem looks. So if I put that fatter side down, it looks straight up and down. But if I put that thinner side underneath the flower and down, then all of a sudden it goes a little bit on the arch side. So know that you have two sides to choose from, gives you a different effect. And I put in the thinner side, as you see here, to go ahead and make it arched, okay? And so that's what that was. And then simply I put a label and then the new twine on here, and I was done. So this is really a very, very quick and easy card, to be honest. So here I have some glue. I do, that's great. And I put it on the kind of not the right piece, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to put that right like that and center that. Should have put it on the designer paper, the glue, but that's okay. I didn't go over, so that's good. Going to center that. That looks great. All right, so now what I'm going to do is once I've scored that piece, I'm going to bend, this is the front of my card, I'm going to bend that first 4.5 inch score down. There was a 5.5 and a 4.5. The 4.5 inch gets folded down, and then the so this gets folded down and this gets folded back. It forms a mountain. All right. So basically both of them are forming mountains. So I'm going to glue this down like this, almost like a bookmark card in that respect. So folding both of them down or back, or mountain fold, whichever you like. Then I'm going to take this, and I did make it a snug fit on purpose. You don't have to make it so snug. You can have more of a border if you like. I had a little bit of a shaky hand there. It's not good. And this seems to be a little on the short side. That's okay. I can deal with that. That's all right. It's a little short. I might have cut that wrong. I'll have to redo that. I can put another strip over that later, make it longer. That won't be a problem. And then I'm going to take this basically right up to the edge, I believe, just a little bit over from the edge, just a teeny bit over from the edge. Center that piece and that piece. Then what I'm going to do is this is going to fold back. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this, I'm going to fold this back. All right. And I'm going to take my two mechanisms. And you've seen me do this before. Take my two mechanisms in about the center. And I'm going to put that down. Doesn't have to be perfect. And this has to be the same color as the cardstock, as said before. What's important when you glue this down is that the open mouth part is facing away from the score line, and that the folded section faces the score line. So you can see that, and it's very tight and close to the score line. You want to make sure that sits there for a second. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take that and simply, oh, no, I don't want to glue that down yet. Take that away, because what I want to do, once that's there, I want to center this piece. All right, I don't want to glue this down at once because I want to have this centered. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to arrange it and then push it down once I believe it is centered. That looks centered. And so I'm just going to do that. And then after that, after I know that it's centered, I can go ahead and fold that down. All right. And so all I am doing is folding that down and holding it. Now hold it for a little while. It's very simple. So you have your two strips. You go ahead and cut those two strips and then place them down on the sides. Then what you're going to do is place your 4 1/4 and 4 1/4 piece after your design has been made down onto that, and then that becomes your mechanism for your card that looks like that. All right, so there you go. You want to just make sure that it's centered. You're going to glue that first half and then that second half, and there you go. Now the next piece, typically what I do here, I would simply go ahead and put my little ladybug, and I would take 2 of these. All right. And before we faced the mechanism where the mouth was facing out, this time the mouth faces in and they meet each other. Okay, so that's kind of what you would want to do. And then I would glue my ladybug on. And basically what I do is I glue the first 2 pieces on, and then I literally put glue on both, hold it down a little bit, and then glue it down there. That's what I would do. But I want to use the bird. Okay. And so what I decided to do, well, I don't need 2 mechanisms for the bird. All I need is 1 mechanism for the bird. So know that you can have 2 or 1. And so I'm simply going to glue him down about there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this towards the inside. So it goes like this. Okay. So the open part is towards the inside. I'm going to simply take the bottom and put some glue on it. I'm going to go fairly low with this guy. But over, so you can kind of see where he is. And then all I'm going to do is put my glue on this piece so that I can take my bird and put him right smack dab in the middle. And I want him in the middle because I don't want that mechanism to show. And this is probably a smaller piece than you really would want typically, but I think you can go this small, this small, and then look, there's your little pop-up. You see, he pops up. See? So there's your little pop-up. And there's your little mechanism. So here you go like this, and then you open the card, and then you would have something that looks like this. Isn't that cute? That's the card. That's all she wrote. All right. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this card made on my blog, Renee's Paper Crafts Blogger. This is written up, all right, for you, but hopefully you can see this and take a picture and it'll work for you. I wonder if I bring it up. Maybe if I just bring this up a little bit, that would be easier for you. If you want to take a snapshot of all the measurements, you can do that. Okay. And so there you go. There's your card in all of its glory. Okay. So I'm going to see you next week, next Thursday, for another card. I think I am going to be doing the gull card, but you never know what's going to happen next week. There's so many things I can show you after the retreat. I just don't know what to show you first. Maybe you can tell me, would you rather see another card, or would you rather see some tricks of the trade and some of the things that you can do with the punches that we have, especially the new punch, or some beautiful work with the embossing folders that I have done as of late that I would love to show you. So maybe you would rather see those kinds of things than another card. Tell me, make a comment below, all right? And I will show you next week. All right. So I'm going to sign off now. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, and have a great day.